I am Mike Bausch. I own a restaurant group known as Andolini's Worldwide. I am an author. I've written a book called Unsliced, and I also speak at a lot of trade shows and help other restaurant people self-actualize at a higher level and get to where they want to be in their goals, mimicking what I've done inside my restaurants. Before enrolling in AA, the Authority Accelerator, I was lost on how to get to a course. I knew I wanted to get the information out in a clearer way, but I wanted it to land. That was my biggest fear, to do all the work and not have it land. So I was desperate to find the right resource, and there is an abundance of them out there. I took a sales call, and on the sales call, they said, "Hey, why'd you choose Sunny of all the people you're researching?" And I said, I just trust someone who's scrappy, who speaks straight to camera, and it doesn't look like they're overtly trying to sell more than they're trying to inform. And that's the vibe I got. And I'm very happy that I was right with that innate feeling, because it's turned out correctly. And going from not successful, but being ambiguous on how to execute a course, to a very precise way of how to execute onboarding, flow, and this course strategy in the smartest way possible. I'm very happy that that's what I got with the Authority Accelerator Program. How the Authority Accelerator Program affected my business: it was a non-existent consulting business, in the sense that I would do a speech here or there. I have my main gig. It's a full-time job. I just wanted to help more restaurant owners, but I was in my own way. I was in my own way because I'd never done sales in my life. I'm not a sales guy. I'm a marketing guy. I'm a restaurant owner, restaurateur, entrepreneur, all those things. Never been a sales guy. So sales, I learned, is really getting out of your own way, giving the positives without overburdening the intended audience. I had never listened. I'm using that in all of my business at this point. I usually just said, I know what they want. Now let me get it to them, instead of really stopping and absorbing and truly hearing from the ideal client, the ICA, knowing what they want, as opposed to a solid ass guess. I was very knee deep in solid guesses, but I didn't know. And getting the information, having a path, which I will say on an exponential level, Sunny's program is not ambiguous. It is, do this many, this time, with this script, which I love. I love when someone just says, "Hey, dummy, stop overthinking it and just do this, and I guarantee it'll work." And truth be told, it did. So I'm stoked that that's what I got, that's what I asked for, and that's what I received, which is not the norm. So many times there's like, "Hey, if you try this, or you could try this or this or this or this." And there was times where it was still, "Hey, choose your path," but it was still very correlated and finite. It wasn't, "Maybe you want to do it this way." It wasn't that at all. It was very finite, and that's what I wanted and needed, and it paid off. In my wildest dreams, I was thinking I would get, a certain number for this first launch, and I did 150% of that. And of the 29 people I did a second call with, 27 signed up. 27. So I was like, am I the greatest salesperson of all time? Should I have been doing this with my life? I don't think that's the case. I think what I had was the correct framework. And it really helps if you're passionate about the end result. If you know that this is going to help someone, it's easy to sell it. But then if you could just get out of your own way, which is what the sales training taught, you can actually get the person to be on board with it, instead of, "Hey, here's my thing, want it?" Which is basically how most sales to me goes down. I noticed, even for me onboarding, I felt so comfortable. And the process of how Sunny's course on courses, which is very meta, went down, I was like, look at how she does this. Oh, wow, that's cool. Oh, wow, I didn't think, because it was so straight to the point without almost any fluff. And I found myself truly actualizing the info more than I had done on the other several courses of multiple topics I've done in the past. I found myself truly absorbing the data and the information. And I looked at the execution. I'm like, this is not hard to do, or it's even easier than grand studio and a ton of cameras and b-roll and all this other stuff I saw with other courses that didn't get me to where I wanted to go. So then it was this big epiphany that this is doable. This is more doable than you thought. And you went all in on this course and felt good about it. Maybe you could be that to restauranting. And it was epiphany after epiphany after epiphany. And then I just did the work, which I've never been opposed to. I've never been opposed to working hard when I had a finite path. Knowing that you're going according to the plan makes me feel like, okay, great, I'll keep running. It's when you don't know, should I go left? Should I go right? Should I stop? Should I pause? Should I go forward? That's when analysis paralysis takes over. And I never felt that during this course. If you're thinking about getting into the Authority Accelerator Program, you have to understand what I've been telling to my potential clients is the same thing essentially I was told, which is you have a boulder in front of you and you're trying to break it up with your fists. Here's a hammer and chisel. You still got to do the work, but you're finally going to have a hammer and chisel and a pathway. So if you feel hammer and chisel-less, this is for you. If you're like, hey, so I'm going to sign up and it's just going to do itself, that ain't this. But if you're not opposed to hard work, you just want to know that your investment is going to do an ROI and you're game to bet on you because you don't fail you, then this is absolutely for you. If you are the type who says, I'm going to pay someone else to do it, you're never going to get to your end result. And that's the truth of what you would theoretically create in a course to give to someone else is here's the path. And Sunny has created that. Here's the crazy thing. Absolutely insane. And I love this fact. Well, also, it's an interesting one. I have not met Sunny. I've not even done a Zoom call. Now, you might say, well, hold on. Is that a bad thing? It's not, because I realized that me owning so many restaurants, having a family, having all this stuff, and I have had that much impact from another individual while never, ever even corresponding with them shows the power of courses, the insane power of it, and the exponential growth. I've never had a job that had exponential potential for revenue. It's always been linear. Your hours equal this, or even a choke point of there's only so many pizzas that the oven could produce per hour. This has no choke point. And you don't even have to be the choke point. It's exponential. It's only your limits and your quality of content and your deep connection to the potential client that holds you back. And if that is something that you do not fear because you know you have value, then this is your path, this is your mission, and this is the strategy to get to the end result.